Hello again everyone and welcome back to Skyblock News. I'm your host Derailious, and today we're going to be going over a bunch of changes to the greenhouse as well as a nerf to mushroom armor of all things. Before we begin though, make sure to like and subscribe, use code RAIL on the Hypixel store for 5% off your order, and use code RAIL or code MILK if you're picking up Hightail. Without any further ado though, let's get started. Starting off today, if you take a look at the mushroom armor, we can see it no longer has its triple stats ability, and that's because that ability has been removed for some reason. So now you can no longer get triple stats on your mushroom armor, which is a surprisingly big nerf to the mushroom armor, as that was literally the only thing it had going for it. I bet this is for maybe bingo reasons. Maybe they don't want people just quote-unquote cheesing certain abilities with bingo. I don't know. Kind of a weird change, but regardless, now mushroom armor is significantly weaker. There are also a ton of general garden changes to go over, as well as greenhouse changes. First, they fixed a soft lock with Sam's greenhouse tutorial quest. They've also rebalanced multiple lower tier mutations to require less surrounding crops to spread. So if you take a look at this, for example, we can see that stuff like Scour Root is now 1 potato and 1 carrot, Shadevine is 1 cactus and 1 sugarcane, Duskgrain is now 2 wheat, so on and so forth. For many of the lower tier mutations, they just require a few less items in order to make. They've also reduced the drops from shelf fruit by 5 times. They've added hints to the greenhouse tutorial for crop placement. They've decreased the amount of time required to complete the stoplight petal harvest minigame from 30 to 20 seconds. They've also reduced the amount of time stock clones needed to complete its bestiary. So if you take a look at your bestiary, you go over to the garden, you can see that time stock clone is right here. I think now you only need 20, which is a lot better. They've increased the Noctilume's decay period from 5 to 6 days. They fixed surrounding dirt not being able to be broken on some Thunderling and Chorus fruit growth stages. They changed Coal Root to not automatically be taken as fuel when using inventory insert buttons, which was very annoying. This is over on the composter, I believe. If you did like insert fuel from inventory, it would actually take the Coal Root from you, which was really, really obnoxious. They fixed guess taking damage from some greenhouse crops, which is very, very strange. They've buffed Lone Lily spawn likelihood. I'm going to actually come over here and tell you what I'm talking about with this. The Lone Lily spawn rate was awful beforehand, and actually, I got 2 of them right here. Before today, I had this entire plot basically emptied out, and I did not get a Lone Lily for over 24 hours, which is ridiculous for how many Lone Lilies you actually need, so it should be a little better picking them up, which is nice to see. And the other changes that they made, they fixed Hardstone minions not saying where to get their tier 12 minion, and they've also fixed a Brood Fodder typo with the Darkness Within rune, which is a very funny one to see. And finally, they fixed being unable to give the Bachelor's Rose to Queen Nyx in the Crimson Isle, even with the right reputation. Before we wrap up here, I wanted to give a bit of an update on my own perk as well as Celestial Milk's perk in terms of the Aura Minister custom perks. So Jade's perk, or Celestial Milk, was to reduce the amount of yapping by the Watcher in dungeons. And actually, her perk has been approved, thankfully, but it's also been approved in a very nice way. It's not going to be a new item added to the game that you're going to have to consume to use on the Watcher. Basically, how it will work is that you'll be able to automatically have less dialogue from the Watcher as long as everyone on your team has done the floor at least once, which should be very, very good for PB runners, for people who just want the completions, or even if you're just casually playing and you want your runs to be a little bit faster on lower floors, on higher floors. I think this is going to be great for pretty much everybody. Apparently, it'll also include the mobs spawning faster, so that's absolutely great to see. In terms of my own perk, which was the tracking mix-in, originally I stated to the team that I would prefer if it were 10 tracking, and they stated, well, that's too much, what about 2 tracking? And I stated, well, that's too little, what about 5 tracking? And so we've met in the middle, and 5 tracking will be what the tracking mix-in gives. I feel like it's a good amount. It'll make up the gap a little bit between what we had before with E-Man 9 and what we have now, and I hope you guys like it. The recipe will not be very expensive at all. It'll be 4 enchanted feathers and 1 magical milk bucket. The magical milk bucket you can pick up from Shania by just clicking on her a bunch with a bucket. I think it's every 140 IRL minutes you can do that, so it's not going to be expensive at all. It'll be a really easy thing to pick up. If you're on main or on Iron Man, it should be great for you. I hope you guys enjoy the perk. Leave all of your thoughts about the perks, as well as what happened today in terms of the changes down below, and look to the future, fellas. I'll see you then.